going to start as soon as we go online.
Surah Muddassir.
Please actually mute all of you. Now I'm going to make a PowerPoint presentation to start with until Dr. Saudi comes. I'm going to start as soon as we go online.
Surah Muddassir.
As I told you, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I'm going to make a PowerPoint presentation of what we are going to cover today, and it will be about Surah 074 Al-Muddathir, Ayah 1 to 7. Al-Muddathir is wrapped in a cloak, and I will start the presentation. Please mute yourselves until I finish the presentation within about 10 minutes. Then we'll wait for Dr. Saudi. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Happy Eid to all of you. This is the Eid edition of our Al-Quran Lifecare journey. Incidentally, it's a very interesting surah. This is the second surah that was revealed after Iqra' Bismi Rabbik Alladhi to our Prophet as the first surah to ever come to him from Allah through Angel Jibreel in the cave of Hira. And this surah was actually revealed while Jibreel was halfway between heaven and earth. He was seated up there, and our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually was trying to look at him and fell down, and Allah from that point onwards sent the message. So you will see Allah describes him as what he was at the end of the revelation of asking a man who has never studied or read or knows to read or write, asking him to read the revelations of Allah. He was shocked and he went home feeling so cold, but remembering the ayahs, of course. And what he did was, he asked them, this is what it is here now, if you will follow with me. The surah derives its name from the word Al-Muddathir, which is in the ayah 1 of this surah. We will go through that in a minute. The Prophet was accustomed to wrap himself in a cloak at the time of his trances when he went to Cave Hira and meditated. From the hadith of Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim, it is recorded that the Prophet said, while he was walking, he heard a voice from the sky on a day after this Hira incident. So he lifted his gaze towards the sky to see the same angel, Jibreel, who had come to him in the cave of Hira. He was sitting on a chair between the sky and the earth, so he fled from him in fear until he fell on the ground. Then he went to his family and he said, wrap me up. So they wrapped him up again. So now he's fully wrapped up in his cloaks and clothes. So Allah immediately called him, "Oh, you who is wrapped up," and ordered him, "Arise and warn." This is the beginning of this surah. Now I'm going to play a few ayahs from this.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر.
Those are the 7 ayahs we will cover today. And in my presentation, back to my presentation in a minute. You can, if you want to go through the whole thing, you can just click on this and you will get the whole surah being read to you. Sheikh Mishari Rashid Al-Afasi. And in this, either of the, you can click on this or this, you will get full ayah by ayah tafsir by Sheikh Nouman Ali Khan. I'm going to obviously send all, this to you by email to all of you. Now, here's the ayah where Allah called Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Ya ayyuhal muddathir, O you, are referring to our Prophet. Muddathir is enveloped in garments or clothes and wrapped in clothes. Qum, rise, get up. You have a lot of things to do. One of the most important thing he says, fa'andir, and warn people. And what does he warn? We will just read the meanings after this. And warabbaka fakabbir. Not only that, he not only warned them about the first thing that the warning is to be given to the people about various things that is going to come in a description of each one of these ayahs. And fakabbir is to magnify or describe the glory of Allah and His capabilities so that the warning will become very effective indeed. And that's the second one. And the third one is arise and warn about these two things. Not to get into difficulties and evils and various things, and he has given some nice, beautiful things in this surah. I will just go through it with you. And magnify your Lord or tell about your Lord. Having given this messenger the instruction to warn others, he adds some directives for the Prophet to observe in his own life. What are the things or essential elements on warning or instructing to other people about Islam and Allah and Allah's guidance and on the Al-Quran. And these are, the first one, this is the address from Allah calling Prophet to get ready for a great task. He is to warn mankind, wake them up and save them from evil in this life and from the fire in the life to come, setting them on the way to salvation before it is too late. This is hard, momentous task when assigned to an individual human being, even though he may be Allah's prophet and messenger. Mankind had, however, gone so far astray and too steeped in sin. I'm taking these are all prepared by Farzana, but Farzana will give more descriptions later. But I've taken the main essentials and mentioning it here. To give the most obvious aspect of given message is to give a warning. They give the warning most obvious aspect. It alerts people of impending danger and threatens to engulf those who are oblivious to it, heading unaware of its error into error. Such warning manifests Allah's grace and He bestows on people. They take away nothing of His kingdom when they go astray and increase His kingdom by nothing when they follow His guidance. They don't benefit or take away anything from Allah, but they only they will gain. However, it is out to His grace that He gives them such care so as to save themselves from severe punishment in the life to come and to rid themselves of evil in this life. The fact that these messengers, Allah's messengers, call on them to respond to as to earn forgiveness and admitted into heaven is certainty and a manifestation of His grace. Now, in glorifying your Lord's greatness, only Lord is great and only He deserves to be glorified. This is a definitive fact. There is nobody else as glorious. That is why Subhana is a word that we use whenever we talk about Allah. This directive lays down an aspect of Islamic concept of Allah and His oneness. Every person, every creature, every value, and everything is small, while Allah alone is great. All entities, sizes, forces, values, events, situations, concepts, and shapes dwindle into insignificance in front of Allah, who alone is the supreme, the most perfect, the most majestic. That's His greatness. Now, once this is done, Allah puts the second part of what we are going to read today. وَثِيَابَكَ قَطَهِّرْ. Thiyab is your thobe or your dress. Fatahhir is to purify it. So He gives one, purify your garments. Why does He say that? In a minute, we will come to this. وَالرُّجْزَ فَأَحْجُرْ. The filth. Why idols were called filth is that also will come in the description next following this. Keep away from them. Keep away from anything that is filthy of body and mind. وَلَا تَمْنُنْ. And give not a thing. تَسْتَكْفِرْ. In order to have more. In other words, don't hoard anything, okay, and don't keep things that are for yourself, but give it very freely as a sacrifice towards sending Allah's message to everyone. That will also come in description in a minute. وَلِرَبِّكَ فَأَصْبِرْ. And for your Lord, because of your Allah, be patient. Don't push. Don't be harsh. Now, these are guidelines given when you're warning somebody. When you're warning or when you're guiding somebody using Allah's words, use these characteristics or essentials. So, these are the 7 things. Purify your garments. Keep away from anything like idols and what it means. And give not a thing or have more. Consider not your deeds of obedience to Allah as a favor to Him. Oh, I have done you so much favors, Ya Allah. Please give me back something. And be patient for the sake of your Lord. And perform your duty to please Allah. Now, essential number 4. Your garments should be clean. The Arabic usage, this expression of cleaning one's garment means maintaining purity, not only of the garment, but also of the body, but of the heart and mind, with moral values together with clean action. It refers to purify of self, which is covered by these garments. Such purity and cleanliness signify condition that be suited for receiving instruction from Allah. One of the things, our cleaning of our mind, using our mind is the wudu. When we take wudu to interact with the receiving messenger from Allah or to pray to him, and that keeps our mind clean. And in physically, we are cleaning the areas that are usually exposed, like the hand and the face and the legs. And so that again shows that there is not only a mental purification, but also physical. Moreover, it is the closest thing to nature of Islamic message, cleanliness. Now the next, stay away from all deviation of purity of mind. Now our religious and all the all that exposes people to Allah's punishment, stay from them. And these staying away from all deviation of purity of mind, which is described as filth, because original Farzana has added here, rujs, which is translated as filth. The Prophet stayed away from all this long before he was endowed with prophethood, but he remained clean. He gained good name amongst his people, even though nobody knew he was the Prophet. His was an upright nature, disliked all deviations from the truth, disowned all erroneous beliefs, and loose morality. He never indulged in any unbecoming practice. However, this directive is a declaration of separation between two different routes that can never cross. But you can go on the straight path and go away, waladhdallin, and that's one of the things Allah already mentioned, Surah Al-Fatiha. The Arabic word rujus, which is translated here as filth, originally meant suffering and torment. If you are inside filth, you will be suffering. Yeah? I mean, you can imagine lying between in a place which is full of mud and dirt, and it came to signify anything that leads to it, hence directed to abandon all such filth that incurs punishment or torment and deviations of purity of mind. Do not hold on to what is given away, considering to be important, saying, oh, this I want to keep, this is important, I don't want to give it away. Nothing is important than spreading the faith of Allah. The Prophet is directed to be self-effacing, not to hold on to what he has to exert efforts on, thinking to be much more important than advocating divine advice. Do not hold up what will give away, considering it to be important. So he was to give much sacrifice and put up with much hardship, yet Allah wants him to not to think too highly of what he is giving, feeling that it is a big thing that he has done. To be true advocate of divine faith, one must not think that one must give or sacrifice for it. The sacrifice required is so great, no one can give it willingly unless he also forgets it, or rather does feel that first place between he is so preoccupied with his duty towards Allah. So Allah comes first. Therefore, love for Allah comes first before anything else. Even your parents, even your own children, or your own family and wife and everybody. In essence, he feels whatever he must give for his sake is only part of his grace and favor. If you all put all the favors that we have made, or we have devotions we have made to Allah, and Allah takes one of a small part of our body and puts on a balance, the one that Allah put will go down in heaviness. Thus, giving the sacrifice and exerting effort an aspect of grace of Allah bestows on us. We should be grateful for him for enabling us to give it in the first place, rather than holding it up, thinking that we have done something great. Then turn to your Lord in patience, purity, peace, and perseverance, all to please Him. The last directive is to turn to your Lord in patience, purity, peace, and perseverance to please Him. And this is the directive which gives every time the Prophet is assigned to task or needs counseling. If you remember, when he went to Taif, the people were very upset that he was, some people had given malice ideas. So they were throwing stones. He got hit with them, blood pouring down on his robe. He cleaned it up. He just walked back. He never said one word. The patience is the most important prerequisite of this hard battle of advocating Allah's message. It is a battle against two enemies simultaneously. One is personal desires on the one hand, and the eternal enemies motivated by their own desires on the other. The most effective weapon to hard and long battle is patience, purity, which is sincerity away from desires, peace, and perseverance for Allah's sake, and with the aim to please Him. When these divine directives has been given to our noble Prophet, the surah outlines the terms of warning to be given to the others. This is delivered in a way to alert their attention to the hard days of work with patience and perseverance they are warned about. I think that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for patiently listening to me. And thanks for Farzana to preparing paramount of this material. And I wanted to mention this in shorter form, but later we will have a tafsir from her, making us to think on our own on these words. They are marvelously, I never thought myself personally, just 24 hours before, I never thought there is so much of richness in the 7 sentences that we read. So much so, Salima said we'll go up to 9. 9 is a second phase where we talk about the judgment day. Allah tells how to recognize it. Inshallah, we'll continue next week by delving deep into Allah's heaven and earth. Jazakumullah khair. Now, I'll end here. I hope Dr. Saudi has arrived. If not, I would like to have comments, or we can, I don't know, I'll just check within this minute. Dr. Saudi, if he doesn't come, we'll have to read ourselves, each one of us. And I will make available the part of the slides with the Arabic verses, so you can read it and tell the meaning at the same time, and it'll be good. Any comments in the meantime? Jallo?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Yeah, your explanation is mashallah, great and wonderful, mashallah. I just wanted to add something, that is, you see, Quran is a book that, as we say, it's a book that explains itself. One part explains the other. And
Yes.
it is arranged in a way that verses and surahs explain themselves. This is the beauty of the Quran. The way in which Quran was revealed and the way in which it was arranged, there are two different things. Now, sometimes when we want to get more understanding of the Quran, we have to go in the way Allah Ta'ala arranged it. Sometimes it helps. As you said, you see this Surah Muddathir and Surah Muzammil, these two names, they are similar in meaning. Because here you say Zammiluni, the other one say Mudathiruni. Again, Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, as you said, he, you know, when he went to Cave Hira, that was the first revelation in this. So in this surah, this was, you can link this that was what we call the Fitr, when it came, when the revelation from Allah Ta'ala stopped, came to halt. Nothing was descended, and that was when Allah revealed what duha or layla. Now there are two things. Allah just mentioned what duha or layla. Why not the other way around? Layl what duha? Why? Because it was so long that revelation was not coming. And duha means dopeher. Duha means like beginning of the day. You get it? And layl, it's night. Now Allah could have started first, but there's a prophecy here. That is to tell the Holy Prophet Sallam that yes, there was a halt in the revelation, but because Allah Ta'ala created duha and layl, and day cannot come unless night comes. Day cannot come unless night comes. These two things, they live together. Trial and progress and victory, they live together. And this is part of the Sunnah of God. Mostly, when somebody is sick in the hospital, when you go and visit the person, when they ask you, even if the person is in the point of death, and they ask you, oh, how is Mr. X? What you will say is that, oh, the first thing you will say, Alhamdulillah, he's doing good now. Then you will say, but, yesterday he got severe headache and I even lost hope. The first thing you will say, Alhamdulillah, is doing good. You see, to give cause khabiri, to give, happiness to the person. Then the second phrase, you start giving other things. Now, thiyabaka, as you translate in this verse, you see, thiyabaka means cloth. But thiyabaka also, it means even heart. It means thiyab, also in Arabic, it means heart. It means, in this verse context, it will mean that it is a muhawara. It is like a figure of speech. In Arab, when they say purify your clothes, at times it is used as a figure of speech. That is, purify your soul. Meaning to do preaching, to advocate the unity of God, to preach to the world. The first and fundamental thing you need to do first is the reformation of yourself. Purify yourself. Clean yourself. Then you will be able to purify other people in that context. But yes, why not? Arabic is just a beautiful language. Thiyabaka can mean a bunch of meanings. It also has to do with clothes. But mere cleaning of clothes, what has it? No, what connection does it have in tabligh? The first thing Allah, when you check Surah Muzammil before Surah Mudathir, what did Allah say? That stand up for the night prayer. You stand up for the night. But in this surah, he said what? Stand up and admonish. There are two things. In Surah Muzammil, he said, stand up and offer the night prayers. In Surah Mudathir here, he said, stand up and admonish. Why? In Surah Muzammil, that commandment was meant for the Holy Prophet ﷺ to offer the night prayers so that he will purify himself, to do islah. Because when you offer night prayers, tahajjud, you are working on your own purity and your own righteousness. Then in this surah, as I was saying, the Quran is arranged in that manner. So after Surah Muzammil, now we come to Surah Mudathir. Now in Surah Mudathir, instead of telling him offer the night prayers, he says, inform people, admonish them now, because already now you are purified. And long before this, Muhammad was purified. These two things needed in tabligh, in admonition, in advocating the unity of God, in preaching the message of God. This is why always I said we are insan. You must purify yourself. If I'm to preach the message of God, and in the first place, you yourself, you are not righteous, then park in people's life. And that tells us also to, in the field of tabligh, it is very important to do these night prayers, because this is what the Holy Prophet Allah told him in Surah Mudathir. In Surah Mudathir here, he told him to do Anzar. Now, why Anzar is important? Allah says in the Quran that admonish them, stand and admonish them. Why is it important? It is important because this is the sunnah of God. Allah, before he sent his punishments, before he sent calamities, earthquakes, and all those atrocities, he will first send the prophet, and the prophet will admonish people and advise them so that those righteous souls who are lucky, will hear the voice of the messenger of the time and will accept, then they'll be safe. Because after the inzar, after the admonishment, there will be hujjah. There will be itmam hujjah, what we call itmam hujjah. That is, everything is clear now. This is the sunnah of God. Allah never punished people unless He sent a messenger and He gave inzar, admonishment. After that admonishment, then if anybody rejects, then the punishment comes. And now for us to understand this, Allah divided the life of the Holy Prophet in two phases. Two phases. One Makan life and second in Medina life. The Makan life was just for inzar, for admonishment. Oh, people do this. Nothing like if you don't pray, you are going to hell when you don't do this. No, everything was simplified. There's nothing like, all the commandments, mostly they were in Medina, if you checked. Makkah was just a tarbiyat center. Makkah was an admonishment center. And this tells us that when you, a person, you are to admonish somebody, you have to take it in the stages. First, you admonish the person, like the Holy Prophet was doing in Makkah. There was nothing like fatwa, if you don't do this, Even companions, they were, they were illiterate in those days. Nobody knew anything. Holy Prophet was purifying them. And in Makkah life, there was nothing like jihad. The fighting was not needed there because they don't know. This was why when he even went to Taif and they attacked him and stoned him, Holy Prophet never responded. No defensive, nothing. Because that was the stage of tarbiyah. Now, when he went to Medina now that was closed. Because at that moment, everybody was aware of Islam in Makkah. Everybody, Abu Jahl, everybody would get the message of Islam. They knew. So now, Imam Hujjat was there now. Allah has now established Imam Hujjat. Now, if you want to attack the Prophet and stop the message of Allah Ta'ala, then punishment will come. And what was the punishment? That was the reason why in the first battle of Badr, Abu Jahl, met his end. After that, the like of Abu Lahab, they met their end. After that, Umayyah bin Khalf, they met their end. Big warriors in Makkah, they met their end. Because there was already admonishment already, as Musa Mudassar said. So this is very important. And now I think we can continue with what we are doing so that I will not get more because of time constraint.
Yeah, I actually would like at this moment, I think Saudi is not coming. I will display the two pages of the Quran, and then we will start as usual with Dr. Salima, all right? And I will share the screen again.
Mesa, Siri, can you make me a decaf tea, please? With milk, no sugar.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is the curry?
That's what Dr. Maruf is doing.
I'm just going to wash my hands.
It has got stored in my iCloud. New presentation, okay. 1 minute, you give me a minute only.
Do you have sugar on it?
No, no sugar, just milk and black. Milk.
Nobody. What's wrong? Oh, how many vanilla cupfuls would you like?
One.
One. I'll give you. It's tiring having to.
Give one to Mesa.
Huh?
Give one to Mesa.
We've had enough. I don't need any sugar, Nanny.
Then drink for water. Take that bowl and give them
Oh,
water.
they've got water. Water. I just think that was the food.
Take the bowl away yourself. Get garlic.
Yes.
This is Microsoft. Thank you very much. It's gone and dumped on the iCloud and it doesn't allow me to come back. Right. I have one other suggestion in a minute. Just I will try once more.
Don't eat it now. Eat it with the tea.
That's strange. It has saved it.
I eat many things before dinner. Sarah, can you open it? Please, please. Okay, take these to the fridge. Yeah. Doesn't Baba coconut oil stay?
Yeah. Take it to the fridge.
He's gonna bring his food.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just said he can bring it.
Huh?
I said he can bring it here to like heat it up.
Heat it up.
Who is this?
Luke.
Alhamdulillah.
Why don't you guys make your dinner as well? and
Wait,
eat it
butter time to
We'll
go.
turn it down.
Okay. All
You
right.
can't time out. You can't
Salima.
put your finger on mine.
Salima, are you ready? Salima, are you ready?
She has muted herself.
You want the Qari? Okay. The Qari we read earlier. You want to read again?
Yeah, better. Put us in the mood.
No, I'm just wiping this book. Sneeze.
Where is the tea?
Okay, here you are. Just listen. Can you mute yourself, please, Salima?
Yes.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر.
Okay, you got it?
Mm.
Anybody wants to repeat again? Do you want me to repeat it?
Yes, please, one more time, if it's okay.
Yeah, okay. Can somebody, Salima, can you mute yourself, please?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر فإذا نقر في الناقور فذلك يومئذ يوم عسير على
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you all ready?
Yeah, Nanny.
Thank you, Daddy.
All right. Shall I go to the next one? Are you ready here now? Salima, are you going to read? If you are busy, we'll get somebody else to read.
19 hours.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها المدثر مدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر up
Wait. Okay.
وثيابك فطهر
طهر.
والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر
Okay.
ولربك فاصبر
صدق الله العظيم.
فإذا
Finished.
نقر
That's finished. Thank you. You want to read the meaning or shall we get others to read?
Get others to read, yeah.
Okay. Who is next? Sharhan?
Yes, I'll go next. Assalamu alaikum. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر
1 minute.
You mute it.
Okay.
وثيابك فطهر ورجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر.
Okay, good.
الله العظيم.
Thank you. And shall we get Farzana?
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhal muddathir qum fa'anzir wa rabbaka fakabbir wa thiyabaka fatahhir wa rujza fahjuz ولا تمنن تستكبر ولربك فاصبر.
Jazakumullah khair. Who else? Faslina?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر. صدق الله.
Jazakallah al-Azim. Okay.
Jallo.
Jallo, yes.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر.
Sadaqallahu al-Azim.
Sadaqallahu al-Azim.
Jazakallah khair. So we'll read once more. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I will also read. يا أيها المدثر قم فأنذر وربك فكبر وثيابك فطهر والرجز فاهجر ولا تمنن تستكثر ولربك فاصبر. صدق الله العظيم.
Okay. Now the explanation.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. So now today we are starting.
Shall we read? Read. No, let's finish the reading of everybody and then your thing. Yeah.
Everybody has read.
No, but reading of the meaning.
Okay.
Starting with Shrahan, Salima. Can you read? You'll have to unmute yourself.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhal mudaththir.
Muddathir.
O you enveloped in garments.
Okay.
Kumfa andir. Arise. Kumfa, arise. Fa andir, and warn. Warabbaka, and your Lord. Fakabbir, magnify your Lord. Up.
Wasiyabaka. It's on the screen.
Wathiyabaka fatahhir, and your garments purify them. Fatahhir. Warrujza, and purify and where rujsa is the filth, the idols. Fa'ahjur, keep away from the filth. Wala tamnun, and give not a thing. Wala tamnun tastakbir. Have more. Wali rabbika, and for your Lord, wali rabbika fasbir, be patient.
Okay. Shrahan.
Yes. So, Ya ayyuhal mudaththir, O you enveloped in garments, Qum, arise, فأنذر, and warn, وَرَبَّكَ, and your Lord, فَكَبِّرْ, magnify. وَثِيَابَكَ, and your garments, فَطَهِّرْ, purify, وَرُجْزَ, and filth, فَحْجُرْ, keep away from filth. وَلَا تَمْنُنْ, and give not a thing, تَسْتَكْثِرْ, in order to have more. وَلِرَبِّكَ, and for your Lord, فَاصْبِرْ, be patient.
Thank you, Ahsant. Faslina.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhal muddassir, O you enveloped in garments, kum, rise, fa'anzir, and warn, wa rabbaka, and your Lord, fakabbir, magnify, wa thiyabaka, and your garment, fatahhir, purify, wa rujza, and filth, fahjur, keep away from, wala tamnun, and give not a thing, tastaksir, in order to have more, wali rabbika, and for your Lord, fasbir, be patient,
Jazakallah al-Azim. Ahsant.
Sadaqallahu.
Then we got Farzana will come to you last because then you can continue with after reading the meaning
Okay. Okay.
and then we'll go Jalo to do.
Mhm.
Jalo Sahib,
نعم
Fadal.
يا أيها المدثر, O you
Muddathir.
enveloped in garments, قم مدثر,
Muddathir.
O you enveloped in garments,
لا
مدثر,
هذا يا جلو هذا مدثر.
garments, yes.
لا مدثر is you عندك شد هناك.
Mudassir.
Okay, third. مدثر
مو مدثر. طيب تفضل استمع. قم
arise, فأنذر, and warn, وَرَبَّكَ, and your Lord, فَكَبِّرْ, magnify. وَثِيَابَكَ, and your garments, فَطَهِّرْ, purify. وَرُجْزَ, فَهْجُرْ, and keep away from filths, that is idols. وَلَا تَمْنُنْ, and give not a thing, تَسْتَكْثِرْ, in order to have more. وَلِرَبِّكَ, and for your Lord, فَاصْبِرْ, be patient.
patient. Okay. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Okay, Farzana, you want me to display
Right.
all the things?
Do you want me to do word by word or no?
Yes, no, word by word, yes, please.
Okay.
Do the word by word and continue with the meaning
Okay.
underneath, and then you can go to the details. I can just.
Okay. All right. Okay. We'll go to the first line.
We got it? Yes.
No, not yet. Okay, then I'll read from my Musaf. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's not showing there.
We are on ayah number 4. So don't worry, I'll read it from here.
Oh, sorry. No, I'll go to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Ya ayyuhal muddassir, ya, o, ayyuha, you. Al muddassir, enveloped in garments. Arise. Fa anzir, fa, and anzir, warn. Warabbaka, wa, and rabba, Lord, ka, your. Fakabbir, magnify. And wasiyabaka, fatahir. So, wa, and siyabaka, your garments. Fatahir, purify, but rujza, and rujza, filth, that is idols. Fahjur, keep away from, wala tamnun, wala and not, tamnun, give a thing, tastaksir, in order to have more, wali rabbika, wali, and for, be Lord ka, your. Fasbir, be patient. So now we will do this.
I think these are easy ayahs to memorize. I think next time people will start the ayah number 8, or 8 onwards. We can read this from memory as well, you know.
Yes, yes.
I think it is easy to remember these because these are very important ayahs in our lives.
Okay. And now, since you have already explained all this, Dr. Maruf, so I will explain it a little bit differently and make it more understandable.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Now we are doing Surah number 74, which is Al-Muddassir, which Surah Muzammil and Surah Muddassir are twin surahs. In this, Rasulullah is ready to take on the work. Before he was not he was not given the directions to take the work, that is of dawah. The first ayah to be revealed after read. So this also before this, you know, in that surah, read in the name of your Lord. So in ayah number 1, in first incidence, Rasulullah had seen Hazrat Jibreel in the cave, but this time he's seeing him over the horizon. He had spread out over the horizon. He went, so when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, saw Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam, so this was not the first time he had seen him. This was the second time. First he had met him in Ghar Hira. So when he used to meditate over there, and when he saw Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam, so huge, so magnificent, that terrified Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he fell on the ground. And then he got up and he hasted to his home, and then when he went home and covered himself in the blanket, so it is at the time of Surah Al-Alaq he had become Nabi, but this time he's becoming Rasul. So that is these are two different things. So when he became Nabi, that was just Nabuwat, but he was not given any Risala. Now it is the beginning of the descending of the Quran. So now he has also become Rasul. So Rasuls are only the ones who are given Risala. Risala means these like Quran, Injil, Sabur, and the others are called Sahife, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this to everybody all over the world. There is no nation that hasn't received something, but the others, which are many, they are forgotten. So we only remember these 4 prominent books. So that is why it is not like, you know, because that is why there will be a day of judgment, because everybody is given guidance from Allah, and if they don't obey and they just forget these books and then live the life of their liking, then they cannot say to Allah that we didn't know how to live a good life. So then in ayah number 2, it is rise and then born. Rise and do what you are supposed to do. Rise and then do means first get up and do qiyamul lail. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to him rise, that it means that this tahajjud has to be done, and then after tahajjud, then go to warding. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was doing like all night he was in tahajjud and qiyamul lail, and all day he was doing dawah. So it was very, very hard work. It was not like, you know, okay, now you go, nothing to do for you. And then in ayah number 3, specify your master is takbir. Allah is Akbar. It's not just declare the greatness of Allah, declare the exclusive greatness only of Allah. specifically only do takbir of your Rabb. So now this glorifying Allah, because glory is only for Allah, or all the praises are for Allah. Praise is not for anybody at all, because anything good we do, or we are good in some way or the other, this is also like at this moment also we should glorify Allah, because nothing is ours and the glory only belongs to Allah. So now there are two reasons why we should glorify Allah. So number one, in the society where there are too many gods, you have to declare He is the only one to be declared Allah and can be done takbir for. So, when there are so many gods, so many idols, then we have to declare our tawheed and say glory is only for Allah. And then then the second reason is he didn't say Allah, he said Rabb, because this is the relationship between slave and his master. So it is because like we know there are so many gods. So but Rabb, now we will explain what is Rabb. So he is the only one that we are supposed to be slave of. So that is our relationship with Allah, that we just have to be obedient to him. We cannot make any choices. We cannot say yes, we cannot say no, and declare he is the only master possible. So these are the two reasons. These should be the thoughts in our mind when we are glorifying Allah and when we are saying Allahu Akbar. And then in ayah number 4, keep yourself clean, keep your 1 minute, okay?
Yeah.
But just 1 second, okay?
It is there in front of
Yeah, no, something happens to my phone. Sometimes it shows off. 1 minute, okay? It won't change the page. Yes, it's okay now. So then in ayah number 4, keep yourself clean, keep yourself in good company. So clean means inside and outside. It's not just you're wearing good clothes, but inside you are full of filth, dirty mind. So don't dirty yourself with any compromise in the religion. Maintain purity of your clothes. So this is like don't dirty yourself with any compromise in the religion. So we have to stand up and say that this is right and this is wrong. We should not have these thoughts, but what people will say, or it's okay, or for the sake of peace. No, it is not like that. So in ayah number 5, all kinds of anger, evil deeds, any kind of disruption in your dawah, get away from that. So like when you're doing dawah, when you're spreading this Islam, then it is very, very hard work. There will be you will face the anger and evil acts and all those things. So you have to stay away from all those things and carry on your own dawah. Then in ayah number 6, reminding a favor. Don't impose your favor on people, and don't cut off. Don't discontinue your dawah. Don't cut off while you are doing a big deal, like maintaining your purity, keeping of your cleanliness. Don't think it's too much work. Don't be overpowered by the work. Don't let the intimidation of the work cut you off. Don't discontinue your efforts if you don't see the results in front of you. Rasulullah's work was very hard. He had lots of opposition. So when we are doing any favors to anybody, or anything good we are doing, we shouldn't think of rewards, that we will get more, we will benefit more. It should be with a pure heart. So this keeping yourself pure is being explained gradually again and again in Surah Muddassir. So we thought in the beginning it was just about the clothes, but now we are learning that it's not just the clothes, it's many more things. Our thoughts, our actions, our deeds, all of that. And then in ayah number 7, and for the sake of your master, maintain your patience, because your master is saying you to do this. Stay on the task. Don't let any fluctuations happen in the amount of work that you do. Stay on your task, reminding of the day of the day of judgment. So just keep your patience for the sake of Allah, because this is what Allah wants and what Allah has taught us in the Quran. We are supposed to abide to that, and then even if there are difficulties or whatever, we are not supposed to back off or change our mind or become impatient or become frustrated, because our faith and our trust should be in Allah so firm that these things should not, these thoughts should not even come in our mind. Okay, so that's it.
Jazakumullah khair. I think it's a very important, these are very important directives in guiding us in talking about Islam to others. What our Prophet did was is of the highest level, but whenever you do this, you must remember this, that you have to use patience, you have to persevere, you have to keep giving Allah's faith more than anything else. Your own pride or your own personal desires, no, all of them are out, and that is very, very important. And this is very, very beautiful. If you go through it and ponder over it throughout the weekend and also memorize it, I think it is a wonderful, wonderful part of the Quran.
Yes, and we should apply this to our lives.
Of course, everyday life, these are things that we can apply, because our Prophet, at the beginning of his prophethood, he did that.
Yes.
Yes, that came from Allah to various representatives of the countries, but the Quran is the final, and there is nothing more than to come, and that is why he made it a final one, and there is no change even to a sentence or a word or even a accent of the whole Quran. I think it's very, very important for us to remember that.
And we should try to understand the word pure, how it is used, and what a deep meaning this has got. Don't think that it is just clothes. It is lots more than that.
Purity is mind, heart, brain, and then you can get deviated by other people, and that's also here. Anyway, alhamdulillah, this is very, very interesting area, and I spent this time because of the fact that I knew that there was lots of very essential information that we can take back home today. That's why I presented.
And Dr. Maruf, can we ask all of us, including me, next time when we meet, what we have read today, where did we apply this in our life? Because we are all living our lives in a certain way, and we think that is perfect. But where did we control ourselves when we really wanted to do otherwise?
Patience.
And so our struggle, isn't it?
Yeah, patience and sacrifice. These are
yes, because when somebody was upsetting me, what did I do? When somebody needed me, what did I do? And so why did I do this specially?
Okay, I think we can go on to the dua.
Yes.
I think thank you very much for attending, and we'll find out Dr. Saudi will have to join us next time, because once you get deeper, it's the actual tajweed also becomes, these are smaller sentences, easier to pronounce and things like that, so we managed it. But he probably will join us next week. I'll just follow up.
Inshallah. But okay, Dr. Maruf, alhamdulillah, after a long effort of tajweed, together we are able to help each other. You might be good in something, I might be good in something.
True.
Okay, Salimaka, unmute yourself, please.
Salima, dua. Unmute yourself.
Yes.
Salima is having her own conference out there.
What's that?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
People in the background, please.
Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. May Allah forgive us, accept our imperfect worship, maintain our dignity, and preserve our ties strengthen our hearts and keep our, remove our pain. Protect us from those that wish us harm. Allow us to live purposeful lives. Give us control over our tongues and our thoughts. Give us taqwa when it counts most. Protect our children and parents. Give us health of mind, body, heart, and soul, and give us the kind of risk that gives us independence and self-respect and gives us the courage to please him, even when it means displeasing all of the creation. Ameen.
Ameen.
Amin, Ya Rabbal Alameen. We are missing Brother Saqib, but anyway, Jalwa has done a good job on behalf of Saqib, I suppose. And thanks a lot for everyone who attended today. And I will. Jazakumullah khair, everyone. All 6 are still there as we started. Only thing we don't see Muhammad Jalwa's face. We see only your picture. You are muted as well. Yeah, your internet is a little bit weak, I think. Okay, I understand that. Thank you very much. Okay. Jazakumullah khair, and we'll try to meet next Saturday, inshallah.
At 6 o'clock.
Assalamu
Okay.
alaikum.
Same time.
Walaikum assalam.
How many surahs? How many verses?
Next time I'll let you know, because I'll look into that and
No, I'll tell you in a minute. Salimaka, just wait. This one has got 20.
20, huh?
20 ayats, yes.
Right, good.
Yes. I sit with the whole lot here.
Up to 20. Now,
Yeah.
8 to 20, huh?
No, we have done up to 7, but this surah has only got 20 ayats.
Is it?
And yes, do you want me to tell you how many sections this has got, so you can, No, 1 minute. No, it's not like that. No, it's not 20. It is
More than that. I know it's
yes,
about
yes. 56.
I know 56.
Yes.
Yes. I was surprised.
Yes, sorry. Why did this glorious Quran is showing 20? No. That's Muzammil. Sorry. Muzammil is 20. Yes, it is 56. Jallo, try to move somewhere in your home just in case there is better reception somewhere else. You know, it happens sometimes. Walk here and there.
Find the correct place, yeah?
Yes.
Somewhere between heaven and earth.
Allah forgive me, like Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam in the middle.
Inshallah.
Jallo, you tell me once your internet is okay, then we can go through a small Zoom meeting about Lifecare.
He has left. Dr. Maru, since he has got lots of Wi-Fi problems, so you can ask him to record his lecture and forward it to you, and then you can play it.
Yeah, because it's on the internet. So right now I'm going to close the.
Yeah, he has left. Okay, Dr. Maruf, inshallah, see you next week.
الكافرين غير يسير.
Are we leaving now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Maruf, you are saying something.
Yeah, we should meet sometime. I'll get through to you and we'll have a discussion on Lifecare, I said.
Okay. Whenever you are less busy, that is not a problem, inshallah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Because for me, I'm busy here because of studies sometimes. Even now, I was out, I just try to manage
Yeah,
my
I think
time.
you are not in your
Time for
original
class.
place, I think. I knew that the internet.
Yeah, I'm not even in the out. So mostly I'm free on Thursdays.
All right. Okay then.
Okay then.
Okay, we'll try to catch up with each other.
Okay, no problem. Jazakallah.
Thank you.
Emma.
Yeah.
Come and drink this mint tea. Shall I bring it there?
Yeah, mommy.